Hello everyone, this is Surain welcoming you all to my newly formed channel Adamant Algorithm. That's where I actually talk about the beginner level Unity game development concepts. Well, today what we are actually going to see is the type of colliders that are available in Unity game engine. By the way, as you can see, I'm using Unity 2019 version, and whatever we are going to see today should work from 2017 onwards. Now I have a very simple scene. I have a main camera by default, and I have a couple of grounds. I have a sky, and I have a ball sprite. I want to delete it. So let's actually quickly show you what are the different type of colliders and their behaviors in Unity. First of all, I'm actually go drag and drop this small object, move a little bit over here. So my idea is when I actually play this, okay, so nothing is happening. So what I want is I want this object to fall freely on the ground and actually rolls as natural as possible. So this is the idea. For now, in order for that object to fall freely, we need to add a rigid body component. If you want to know more about rigid body and its behavior, I have a separate video on the topic. I'm explaining all the options that is available in rigid body 2D. Now, in this video, we are going to discuss about colliders and colliders alone. And once that is added, I go back and play. Now I actually see the ball is falling, but the problem is it's not colliding with the other object. Well, one thing we need to actually learn for sure is collision is nothing but when one object in Unity touches with the other object. So it's a two-step process. This is object 1, this is object 2. So what we need is we need to have a collider which is responsible for detecting the physical contact between objects and report it back to the physics engine of Unity. That's exactly what a collider is doing. So now we need to add collider for this object number 1, and still we will not get the collision effect unless and until we add collider for the other object as well. So that's how it works. So number 1, we will add collider for our ball sprite. So adding colliders, there are several ways. The easiest way for me is I start typing the word collider, and I'll get all of it. So one thing you need to make sure is there are several type of colliders available in Unity. As far as this project is concerned, we are working on 2D graphics. So all type of colliders that ends with the word 2D is applicable and will be working as expected for a 2D project. All other colliders which does not have the word 2D at the ending will not work as expected, might also cause errors when you are actually working in a 2D project. So that being said, how to choose a collider? We have several type of colliders available. So how to choose your best collider for an object? It's easy. Well, basically take a look at the object that you are going to add collider. For example, in this object is circular. Oops, sorry about my drawing. So this is circular, so the best starting point to add collider for this particular object is circle collider. So I'm going to go and select circle collider 2D. As you can see, there is a green outline that is being indicated that the shape of the collider. Well, basically you can actually edit the collider by clicking this button. So I click edit collider, and there are 4 handles given for me by Unity to actually beautiful. Okay, now everything is done. So once you are satisfied with the shape of the collider, come back here, switch off the collider. So now if you play, this will definitely not work because the collision is not happening. As I said before, collision is a two-step process. We have finished number 1. Number 2, we need to go for our grass. Okay, and let's take a look at the shape of the object. Well, fairly speaking, I have rotated it a bit, but the actual shape of this object is actually rectangle. Okay, so the best thing to do is we go for a box collider, but I need to say a few things about it. So I'm going to select box collider 2D, and you can pretty much edit it as you want. Okay, and it will work for sure. Okay. As you can see, yep, it works beautifully. But what I want to say about this particular area is as far as the project is designed, the ball gonna fall on the surface and surface only, and it's gonna actually roll down this way. So a box collider provides the collision environment around the object on the three sides, which might not be used, in this case never be used by the physics engine. So why we actually have to give an extra load on the memory of physics engine where we are not going to detect any collisions? So what I would suggest is, for this type of particular, so meaning, as you can see, you need to choose the colliders on two bases. First basis is about the general shape of it, but it might not work all the cases. For example, in this, even though if it is rectangle, we don't have to go for a box collider because the collision is going to happen only on the surface. So what we would do is, to reduce the load on the memory, we delete this type of box collider and we go for a specific type called edge collider. So edge collider is very efficient, and the name suggests this collider sits right on the top only. So this is what we exactly need for these kind of needs. So I'm going to edit the collider, and here we don't have a proper handle to move it up and down. So what we would do is, we go for the offset option here and actually play around with the Y value until we are happy with it. Now once you are done, switch off the edit collider button, go back here and check how it works. Beautiful. See, it does the job with a very less load on the physics engine calculation. Okay, now once this is done, we can do the same for the grass thin sprite as well, but I don't want to show you the same thing again. Now, what are the other type of colliders we have? So we have seen box collider, and capsule collider is nothing but, as you can see, for any sprite that starting shape would be more similar to a capsule, you can use a capsule collider. Circle collider we just used, edge collider we just used. So what are the other tile map collider is applicable only when you have a tile map. I have a separate video on that topic, not yet, but in the future, but I will explain very quickly about tile map collider in that video. For this video, we need to actually see what's the difference between a composite collider and a polygon collider. Well, most of the times you might not have a very simple shape like this, a circle or a rectangle. Sometimes you might have, for example, this kind of complex shape element. Just 1 second, I will just move this guy over here. Okay, it's not visible because it has a sorting light problem. Okay, now let me go near to this guy. See, now if we study the shape, it's neither a circle nor a square, and it's actually a complex object. Okay, so how to tackle this situation? Well, since we cannot decide a starting shape for this guy, we will apply for Polygon Collider and see how it works. When I click Polygon Collider, as you can see, the Unity is intelligent enough to study the boundaries of the sprite, and it actually applied these around the object, no matter how complex it is. And you can see a few lines here and there. That's because the vertex that Unity is trying to cover the area. The problem with the Polygon Collider is, when compared with the other colliders, Polygon Colliders are memory extensive, I mean calculation extensive. It will take a lot of time for the Unity physics engine to study the collisions about this kind of what do you call Polygon Collider. By the way, I need to add a rigid body for this guy to fall down naturally. Rigid body 2D, and I click on play button and I'll see, okay, it's beautiful. Now we don't have a problem because we have a very simple scene. We don't have much things happening. Imagine you have 100 objects that has Polygon Colliders applied on top of him, and it's really memory extensive for physics engine to handle these kind of collision deductions. Well, obviously you can able to edit the collider as you want. You can click and drag the way you want. As you can see, it complexes the object more than it already there. So Control Z. What I would do is, most of the times we would not suggest you guys to use Polygon Collider. There are a lot of alternate methods which I will show you very quickly. But Polygon Colliders are best suitable for a irregular shape of 2D sprites. But please remember, it's very extensive and on memory and the calculations of physics. Now, what I will do is, one thing you need to see is there is an option in a Polygon Collider called used by composite. Okay, this option is available only for Polygon Colliders and box colliders. The other colliders like circle and mesh collider will never have this option. So what is that option stands for? First of all, I'm going to remove this Polygon Collider from this guy. I'm going for a box collider 2D. Okay, and I edit the collider. As you can see, the box collider, you might be thinking it's not at all suitable for this irregular object. Maybe circle collider is more suitable. Yes, I understand, but let's see how it actually can be made more sense. How it can make more sense is what we're going to see. So I will have one more box collider 2D. Okay, and this time I'm going to actually get it in a way that it actually covers only here. Okay, right there, maybe even this way. Okay, now it covers almost all the area. As you can see, we have used two box colliders on the same object, but instead what I will do this time is I'm going to actually add a composite collider. Okay, the role of this composite collider is it can actually convert two or more colliders into a same collider. That's the composite collider stands for. So how to make this work is the composite collider cannot work on its own. It needs input from a different colliders. As I said, there are only two eligible colliders that can actually work with composite collider. One is box collider, the other one is Polygon Collider. Since Polygon Collider is already extensive on memory, I'm not going to use that, but instead what I will do, I just go ahead and click this use by composite button on both the colliders, and as you can see now, the composite collider have actually beautifully mingled both collider number 1 and collider number 2 into a single collider. Okay, so this is how you can able to use composite collider. But most of the times I would not suggest even to go up to this composite collider. What you can do is you can actually have just two or more type of colliders on the same object and leave it as it is rather than converting into a complex collider, unless and until you really need to increase the memory load and physics calculations. Okay, so well, basically this is how you can actually decide what is the right collider for your object, and you can play around with it. So I think if you have actually come this far, I think you actually like the video, and this is a fairly new channel, and I'm trying to bring as much as different concepts to Unity beginners as possible in the days to come. So please do support the new channel, and please do subscribe if you actually like the content of this channel, and please do click the notification icon if you are if you want to follow up the new uploads as soon as it is uploaded. And I'm very active in Twitter, and you can see my Twitter handle in the in the comments below. So please do tweet me if you have any doubts in following my tutorials, and I will be there to actually give you a helping hand as soon as possible. So thank you so much guys for your time, and I wish you all the best, and take care, and I see you on a different day with a different video. Bye for now, take care, bye.